Hello everyone, welcome to our ongoing mains series. So today we have a question from GS3. So GS3 and the topic is environment. Now this question is from current affairs. Now current affairs, there was a recently green credit program was in news, and this question was already asked this year in state PCS of Jammu Kashmir mains exam in GS3. Now the question is, what do you understand by green credit? Discuss the advantages and the concerns of the India's green credit program. Now GS3 is more of like we have to link some static part with the current affairs. Now environment, like a lot of current affairs used to happen the whole year. So one of the scheme was the green credit program. Now you need to know the difference between green credit and carbon credit, because carbon credit is also in news because the concept of carbon credit has come from Kyoto Protocol. We'll go through that. Now before going to that, we'll stick to the question first. What is green credit? First of all, we need to discuss what is green credit. Now green credit refers to a unit of incentive provided to individuals and entities. It can be any person, it can be any company, entities that deliver a positive impact on the environment. It means if you do something positive or good for the environment, yes, there are parameters, we'll go to that. If you do something positive for the environment, so you'll be given something, you'll be given some incentive from the government. So it is the main thing is it is an incentive given to the individuals or entities which do a positive thing on the environment. So it means it is a component of sustainable finance. Sustainable finance aimed at enhancing environmental sustainability. Now in the intro we wrote about like it is a direct question. So we'll come to the point what is green credit. It is a part of sustainable finance which will give a boost to the environmental sustainability. Now before going to the advantages and concerns, first of all we need to write what is this India's green credit program, because the question is asking about the advantages and concerns. So before that we need to give a rough idea on what is the India's green credit program. So India's green credit program, it is a voluntary program initiated by the government to incentivize various stakeholders in contributing to environmental preservation. The same thing we wrote it. Now, what are the activities covered? Now, what thing you will do so that you will get an incentive? So here, as per the program, as per the green credit program, we have these are the activities which are covered, like tree plantation, water management, sustainable agriculture, waste management, air pollution, anything we are doing for air pollution reduction, mangrove conservation. So these are the activities which you need to do in order to get the incentive. So it is clearly mentioned in the scheme. It is clearly mentioned in the program. So this thing you need to remember: agriculture, water management, waste management, tree plantation, mangrove conservation, and air pollution reduction. Anything you do which will do this kind of thing, or it will be like you are doing something related to agriculture, or you are doing something for the conservation of mangroves, so you will be eligible for this program. Now coming to the working, like see, the thing is these kind of questions, when like it is a 15 marker question. So because if you see one thing carefully here, the question is about green credit, advantages, concern, but it is a 15 marker. So before going to advantages and concerns, which will give you the marks, but before that, if you give a diagrammatic view on what is this, how this scheme or how this program works, so it will look good. So here I've given like I've saved the words and I have given a diagrammatic view on how the green credit program works. Okay. So green credit program works like, first of all, there will be registration of participants. It can be individual, it can be any company. You have to register it through a portal. The portal is there, the government portal. You have to register. Now once you register, your verification will be done by the designated agency, government agency. It will be done by the agency. Now there will be this. Now once you clear that, once your verification is done, that agency will give the approval. Then the government will give certificate of green credit. Usually the Ministry of Environment. The Ministry of Environment will give the certificate of green credit. It means you are now eligible. You are now eligible for this program. Also, apart from this, there will be a green credit registry, like all the information, like what all things you need to do, who are like what all entities, who are the other entities who are participating, what all things you need to do, everything, the info, the database will be created. It's a green credit registry. Again, there is a trading platform. It means you can trade also. Once incentive you get, okay, you can trade also, because you are getting credits, right? You are getting green credit, so you can trade also. So there is a trading platform. Now it is in very naive stage. One more thing is, you should not be confused with carbon credits. Now green credit, see, it looks same and the motto is same. The thing is, motto is same. Green credit versus carbon credit. It is different from carbon credit. Okay. It is different from carbon credit. We'll come to that. So the thing is, we are simply mentioning this program is independent from carbon credits, because carbon credit has come from Kyoto Protocol, and in India there is a scheme, carbon trading scheme. There is a carbon credit trading scheme. We call it CCTS. Now it has a legal framework from the Energy Conservation Act 2001. Recently, this scheme was this was amended in 2023. Okay, so it is different from that. It has nothing to do directly with this. Now, how the green credit will be calculated? Based on the resource requirements, based on the scale, based on the scope, based on the size, and several other parameters are there. So these parameters will be taken into account before giving you that particular green credit. Okay, fine. So this is the working which we have mentioned in a diagrammatic view. No need to write this, because it will, again, if you start explaining all these things, so you will fall short of words, because the question is about advantages and the concerns. We are just giving a viewpoint. This is the thing, this is how it works. Okay, now coming to the question. Now the advantages. Now here comes the advantages. Here you can explain. Here you can explain two lines on what are the advantages of this program. First of all, this program is aligned with the India's climate goals. We have the climate goals, the international climate goals, Paris Agreement of 2015, which is under UNFCCC. Now recently COP26, COP27, everything happened. Okay, so India is giving its best. India is putting its the climate goals in the world level. Okay, India is doing a lot of things. So this is also a part which will give an impetus to those promises or those things which we have told in international level ki we are committed to the Paris Agreement. Fine. So this is, you can write 2 lines here. Also, United Nations has given ki this is the decade for ecosystem restoration 2021 to 2030. So even United Nations has clear cut told ki this decade, 10 years, is for the even decade on ecosystem restoration. We will restore our ecosystem. We will fight climate change. Okay, so India is also aligned to this. Now, this program also complements the carbon trading program. Now the thing is, I told you there are 2 programs. One is carbon trading. There also you get credit, and one is green credit. Now green credit is a very holistic thing. Like it will include waste management, mangrove conservation, everything, planting trees, everything, which we mentioned the activities. We have mentioned here, these are the activities, right? These are the activities which are covered in green credit. But what happens in carbon credit is, carbon credit, here this is the concept of carbon credit. This is extra info, no need to write here. Not required. You can use it in some other question or in prelims. Now carbon credit goes to reduction of carbon dioxide. It is a greenhouse gas emission, carbon dioxide. Okay, so 1 carbon credit is equal to 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide. 1 carbon credit, so this is a calculation they do, is equal to 1 metric ton of CO2. Now what happens here? Now what happens is, carbon credit is a different thing. Now the origin goes to Kyoto Protocol. I hope if you're seeing these question answer. So I'm hoping you know what is Kyoto Protocol. Okay, so before knowing that, so this answer, so you can't write. You need to know the basic thing. What is Kyoto Protocol? What is Paris Agreement? What are the what are the modalities under those agreements? All those things you need to know. Okay. So carbon credit means here what happened, there is an organization or an agency called Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Now Bureau of Energy Efficiency has also come from Energy Conservation Act of 2001. Okay, Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Now this agency will administer the Indian carbon market. What happens is in this scheme carbon credit, entities, that is anyone like companies, entities or companies will be given credit. Credit, what credit? Carbon credit. How? They will be given a target. If you achieve that, if you achieve that in reducing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, you will get credit. How it is calculated? You will get certificates. Number of certificates is equal to notified greenhouse gas emission. They will be notified. Okay, this much notified minus how much you achieved into production. So this is a calculation. No need to remember this, just for the sake of information I've given. This is how it is calculated. If your company, of your industry is offsetting carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, it means you will get credit, which is nothing but an incentivization from the government. The government is giving you an incentive. You are doing for the environment. You are reducing the carbon footprint from the environment, giving it to the atmosphere. Okay, so it means you are achieving. So here these certificates or this credit can be traded. That is trading platform. It can be traded. It means once you achieve this certificate, you can trade it, you can sell it, you can earn money. Okay. So this trading platform regulator is not BEE, it is CERC, Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. So here if you see, the BEE will recommend the emission reduction targets. How much is the target? That recommendation will be approved by the Ministry of Power. Now Ministry of Power will notify, the Ministry of Environment will finally notify it. Now these certificates also will be given by BEE, issue the carbon credit certificates. So if you see carefully, BEE comes under Ministry of Power. So the nodal ministry for carbon credit is Ministry of Power, and the nodal ministry for green credit is Ministry of Environment. Here also Ministry of Environment is involved, is notified, but I'm saying the nodal agency is Ministry of Power. Here it is Ministry of Environment. So it means it is in a way complementing, this green credit is also complementing the carbon credit scheme under the Energy Conservation Act of Amendment of 2023. Now carbon credit is mostly limited to carbon dioxide. Now green credit is a holistic thing. Okay, so this is the extra info. You can note it down. It may help you in any kind of exam. Okay, I'll make one more video specific to carbon credit. Okay. Now coming to concerns. Now concerns, what are the problems? What are the issues with this particular green credit program? First of all, there is a risk of greenwashing. There is a risk of greenwashing. Now greenwashing was asked in last year prelims, last year or last to last year. It means companies can to earn this credit, they can claim falsely. False claim. They can claim falsely that we are doing this much for the environment, we have done this much, we are adhering to standards, but they are not doing in reality, just for the sake of earning the credit, so that they can trade it and earn money. So they can do. So there is a potential risk. Okay, there is a potential risk. Next is overlapping with carbon credits and complexity of evaluation between the two types. Yes, there is a there is a chance of overlapping, because there are two types of credit now. One is carbon credit, one is green credit. So there may be some situation where both can overlap also. So we need to make it very clear. We need to clearly define, okay, these are for this is for this. So in future there may be some overlapping. Pressure on wasteland. Now see, in this program, they are focusing on planting of trees. Planting of trees. Now in wastelands, there are a lot of like marshy lands. Okay, like any valley which is left barren valleys. So you simply can't go and plant trees there. Like there will be a pressure, because everything depends on the environment. How are the conditions? A lot of things are there. So you simply can't blindly go and put trees there. So without planting, like planting of trees, it's more of an absolute thing. So it's better to understand the biodiversity, understand the complexities which are involved in that particular natural environment, and then you can go for any kind of biodiversity conservation. So it will put an unnecessary pressure on wetlands, because the main thing in this program is planting of trees. Okay, so unnecessary pressure, and this may lead to creation of green deserts. Now green deserts are those areas where we are planting trees, only trees, without taking into account the ecological complexities, without taking into account any ecological complexities. So then in future there will be green deserts. So there is a possibility. Lack of uniform credit values for geographical areas, diverse, because India is a diverse country. Every area is diverse. The geographical area is diverse. So uniform credit values are not there. So there should be state specific or area specific credit values. And issues with verifying and validating environmental positive actions. So there may be issues in verifying and validating. Suppose you are doing something, what parameters you are using, how you are validating, like lot of methodology is needed. So that methodology should be having a clarity, and everybody should understand what kind of methodology is used. So this point you can write methodological issues are also there. So these are the concerns. You can write one line the way I have explained it. You can write one line. So these are the concerns for this particular program. Now coming to conclusion. So to conclude, from the above viewpoints, it would be prudent to shift the focus from tree counts, because in this program we have tree count, the more number of trees, focusing more on trees. So we can focus that from the tree count to biodiversity based afforestation, so that diverse native species can be restored. It is better, yes, tree count is needed, but it's better to restore the native species. That is more important, rather than simply planting trees. And also, moreover, there should be clear definitions of terms like wasteland, degraded lands within the program guidelines, because wastelands are barren lands, full idle. Okay, no life, no growth. But degraded lands, it means degraded lands, if the land is degraded, is not achieving its potential of productivity. So it is not achieving. So it can be restored. But wasteland is completely left barren. Okay, so there should be clear-cut definition between degraded lands and wastelands within the framework, so that more clarity is there for this particular program. So that's it for GS3 today from environment. We'll come up with more questions in our next video. Thank you.